very, very beautiful day up here in the Midwest. What's going on, six speeders? Very, very beautiful day up here in the Midwest. And I got a lot of questions from our last video that we did. I'll leave that one down in the link below about the best modifications you guys can do for your FRS, BRZ, and GT86. And I got some questions asking, would I recommend this car for, you know, beginner drivers entering into the car field and everything? And here's my answer. I 100% recommend this car for anybody who is entering into the sports car fandom or just wants something fun to drive, and this video will explain why I certainly believe that. So reason number one why I recommend this car for anybody, the number one reason is it's very, very affordable. This car, brand new back in 2013, only cost $23,900. That is not bad for an FRS completely basic. Now, it will escalate up there, FRS being the lowest model to the BRZ Premium and then the BRZ Limited. The Limited came with all the bells and whistles, but basically just major, you know, interior options. The other difference between the BRZ and the FRS is just something very, very small. The FRS has this chain look grille to it, while the BRZ has like a mustache look going upon it. That's basically the major difference. Another big difference between the BRZ and the FRS or GT86 is the headlights. So basically, mine are basically chrome on the inside, while if you go to any type of website and just type in BRZ headlight, it'll show you basically it's circle with a hook on it. That's just the major difference between the BRZ and the FRS for the headlights department. Also, I did forget to mention, another big difference between the FRS and the BRZ is the suspension. And that's just from factory. BRZ has a little bit more rally type suspension stock, while the FRS has more of the street normal. So one big thing that I forgot to mention, the difference between the BRZ, FRS, and the GT86 and the suspension department is just very, very small. The BRZ has more of a rally art type suspension, while the FRS has more of the street normal suspension like you see on most other cars. That's the only difference in the suspension. And then last but not least, BRZs have basically this whole entire fin, just like a normal plastic fin, while the FRS, or known as the 86, has the 86 badge. So now that I cleared the air between the BRZ and the FRS, let's move on to reason number two why I suggest this car for anybody. And I would say this highly. This car, and I said in my past videos, is its own category of a car. It's not fast, so it's not going to rock your socks off in a street race, but it's something that's just like a Miata. It keeps your attention on the road all the time, 24/7, 7 days a week, because the car just, it drives amazingly. And I tell all my friends, and I will even tell you guys this, if you are near a Subaru, Toyota dealership, go in there and test drive one of these and you will exactly know what I mean. This car for people to go look at is because this is one of the cheapest rear wheel drives on the market for the best bang for the buck. For about 26 grand, you could go buy a basic model Subaru BRZ Premium or a Toyota 86. And honestly, this car is its own category, like I said, and here's the reason. It is the first flat four rear-wheel drive ever made by Subaru with the joint venture by Toyota, which is awesome, which I'll get into the motor here in the next second. But this car is a blast to drive, and if you ever do have the chance to do it, make it happen. FA20 engine made by awesome Subaru. It's a flat four, so it's a boxer high compression motor. This one is not naturally aspirated, so you're not working with a turbo. And everything you see here is pretty much bone stock inside the engine bay besides my suspension. And it pulls out about 200 to 205 horsepower, which is not bad at all. The transmission was made by Toyota. They used the automatic one. I don't know that code on top of my head, but I do know that Lexus used it in many of their models, and it's a very, very good transmission. And Toyota also designed the awesome manual transmission, which in my book is probably one of the best ones on the market. So if you guys were wondering, the front strut bars do come stock with the BRZ, FRS, and Toyota GT86. So one thing that I absolutely love about Boxer Motors is the oil filter's right here, so it's pretty easy to do oil changes. So the F820 engine falls underneath reason number 3, and here's why. It's the perfect engine for somebody entering into the car community or getting into sports cars. It's a 4-cylinder, very, very simple setup. And it's something that's not too fast where you're holding on for dear life, but yet it still has a little bit of power, so you can, go drifting, go power sliding, and heck, just have fun running, the heck out of it. Also with this car and that engine, I'm getting great gas mileage. So if you're somebody who's like, I only want to drive 4 cylinders because, I live in the city, but yet I still want that sports car feeling, this is probably the car for you. I'm averaging about 24 to 27 miles per gallon, and I ain't complaining. Of course, it does take premium, but you can tune this thing. That engine is very, very tunable. I know some people that turboed them. I know some people that are supercharging them, and I know a few people that are running E85, and they are having no problems with the car and that they absolutely love it. Of course, they are taking the right steps of doing their homework before they jump into it. So before you do decide to do anything, do your homework first. Number 4 is the interior, and here's the reason why. Looking at it, it's just a normal old type muscle car type interior. These are OEM seats that are shaped like racing seats. They are available in both the BRZ and FRS setup. I do believe the BRZ got the blue stitching while the FRS did get the red stitching, but don't quote me on that. But pretty simple setup. And we'll get more into the interior. Pretty simple setup. You got your radio right here, which I do believe the 2013 FRSs came with a different radio unless you stepped up. You got your hazards, your clock, of course, AC and everything good like that, where your gear shifter will sit. And then over here, you got your traction control button and then vehicle stability control. And then right here, and the automatics, one is sport, the other one is snow, and just to click it off, you just click on it. Boom, problem solved. But that's only in the automatics. So pretty simple setup. I mean, you got your cigarette lighter. Of course, mine is being used by my dash camera right now. And my cup holders are kind of dirty. But the best part about this car was an add-on, or you can even go to eBay or anything cool like that and buy an armrest for your car if you're one of those that likes to have their arm rested somewhere. So pretty much on the steering wheel and the gauges, the BRZ, I did forget this one. The BRZ does have different gauges. Just the speedometer is black with a red needle, while the FRS has white with a red needle. And pretty much same type of steering wheel setup, everything good like that. Nothing to control except for cruise control down here. That's about it. And of course, you could swap it to kilometers, ODO. And there was also one more thing that I forgot to include with the FRS and BRZ is that this part was different for each year. I know 2013's, I believe this was just like a normal chrome right here. And then the 2014, they swapped it to carbon fiber. I don't know what they did for 15 and 16, but they did change this up a little bit. And then one last thing that I forgot to mention. If you could see right there with this wire, and then a little bit further back, there's actually another hidden cigarette lighter. So for all of those who don't know that, now you know. So one reason why I also do suggest this car, because it's a very, very simple setup. You got your rear wheel drive, just like a normal traditional sports car. You got your 2 doors, you got your 2 bucket seats, and the back seat in the back if you really badly want to use it. And it comes in automatic or manual for 26 grand. Now back in 2013, it went for about 23. Not bad for a simple sports car. Also, if you are very, very wary and you're kind of wanting to learn how to drive manual, but you're kind of intimidated, don't be. Trust me, this car's manual transmission is not the hardest one. Heck, some of my friends even went out, bought FRSs, learned how to drive stick on them, and now they're all driving Mustangs, STIs, everything good like that. So, it's a very, very simple car to drive and learn. So, guys, we're finally on the final reason why I suggest the FRS/BRZ/Toyota GT86 for beginner drivers and experienced drivers. And here's the reason. This car is very, very adaptable and aftermarket friendly. Basically, this car is the rear-wheel drive Honda Civic. Whatever you guys can think of, you can do. If you want to turbo this car, you can turbo it. If you want to slam it all the way down to the ground, you can. If you want to raise it up a little bit, you can. Basically, whatever you want to do to this car, you can do it. You can do it because everything is aftermarket friendly. I say adaptable because this car can adapt to the driver. If you're somebody who wants to go off and go race it on the weekends and have your fun at the racetrack, go for it. You know, that engine can pull out probably about 400 horsepower. Now, the rule of thumb is if you're pulling out no more than 300 horsepower, you don't need to change the internals. But once you start pulling out more than 300 horsepower, you probably want to upgrade your internals from what I've been told. And that's pretty much simple, you know. This car, it can be drifted. This car can even be rally raced. You know, whatever you want to do with this car, you can do it. And the best part is, if you want to keep it city friendly and, you know, daily driven friendly and just do a little bit of modifications, it'll do that, still getting good gas mileage, you know. And that's what this car is all about. Adaptability. All right, you guys, so I'm hoping that I was able to answer some of you guys' questions regarding the big three, the BRZ, the FRS, and the Toyota GT86, and maybe help you guys, motivate you to go off and hopefully buy this car. If you guys do have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll also be leaving last week's video and the review for the Scion FRS down the description below, and feel free to come email me at 6speeders2019@gmail.com and to come follow me on Instagram at SmithEM2000. Everything's down in the description below regarding that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Keep on smiling, stay safe, and keep on driving.